What's up guys, this is Darkbblue, a gamer who loves Souls-like games, looter games, and every game that involves build making. Recently, I've started to play an action roguelike game from a group of Chinese developers, BlazBlue Entropy Effect. As the devs always have been emphasizing, this game is very action, even more action than Dead Cells. In this video, I will be analyzing how this game balances its action elements and roguelike designs. At the same time, this will also be a review video. By the way, Entropy Effect is still in its EA stage, but this will end at the end of January. We will be receiving many updates there. This video is solely based on EA edition, so things might get changed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive right into it. So BlazBlue is a fighting game franchise, and Entropy Effect is a licensed game produced by third-party devs. Since Entropy Effect has a fighting game basis, it's very natural that it mainly emphasizes on action. However, different from fighting games which are, well, really hardcore and unfriendly, Entropy Effect targets at most ordinary players. Even if you are not good at action games, you will be able to enjoy the fight. This is the very core of the entire game design. And of course, this is achieved by delicate balance between action and randomness. Being friendly with ordinary players doesn't necessarily mean it has lost its potential for hardcore action players, but while I'm not that good at action games and don't have the ability to make such judgment, so in this video let's ignore this topic. Now a simple and quick glance will serve as a good warm-up for our analysis. So we know fighting games are more hardcore than old-school action games like Devil May Cry. Yet old-school action games are more hardcore than roguelike games. So as an action roguelike game, Entropy Effect should be much friendlier. For a fighting game IP that seems to be, well, less famous nowadays than GBVS or GGST, I think this is a good commercial decision. Now after the warm-up, let's start with the roguelite upgrading mechanics of Entropy Effect. So there are two types of random upgrades in this game, and they highly resemble what you have in Hades. Potentials are like hammers, rare yet powerful, and tactics are like boons, bounded with one of your attacks such as basic attack, skill, or summon. Nevertheless, there are differences. In Hades, you first select a weapon and its aspect. By this, your expected playstyle in the next run is almost determined, and both hammers and boons are to support this build. But in Entropy Effect, choosing a character is only like choosing a weapon, and to narrow down what aspect you use, you need potentials. Each character only has very limited movesets to begin with. Potentials grant you access to a large number of additional movesets. Note that potentials are random upgrades during a run instead of what you can choose before a run. So this brings randomness into the exact action experience you may have per run. For hardcore action players, this design may seem stupid. They might want to have full access to every moveset so that they can make insane combos. But for ordinary players, it's very common to simply, spam the few good movesets just to beat the game. Now, Entropy Effect brings randomness into what movesets you have access to per run. In this way, even if you always spam, you spam something different in different runs. So this design enforces diversity of action experience. It's one important part of the designs that enable ordinary players to enjoy good action experience in this game. Next, let's talk about tactics, which are the other part of important designs. Whilst potentials are designed to be random to enforce diversity, tactics are designed to be more controllable to lower the difficulty. So there are some classical designs to restrict randomness similar to the boons design in Hades. For example, one attack can bound with only one basic tactic. After that, other basic tactics corresponding to this attack will become less likely to appear. Additionally, tactics have prerequisites. So by not picking some tactics, you can exclude some undesired tactics from your tactic pool. Furthermore, you can have legacy tactics. Basically, you can record one tactic down after each run and pick 2 recorded tactics before each run. So this is kind of similar to having a gift from an Olympian god to further control the randomness. With such tactic design, it's rather easy to build your tactics so that they interact with each other. This helps you overcome difficult fights in the later half of each play. Now let's dive a little deeper and combine potential and tactics together. When tactics are strong by themselves, you won't have to mind if a moveset granted by a potential is strong. This separates the concern of strengths and weaknesses from potentials. Now they are really just different playstyles, and can all be made strong enough to beat the game if you have chosen tactics wisely. With this insurance, ordinary players can now be more willing to try new movesets. All in all, Entropy Effect's core design philosophy is to separate movesets from a build's capability. Random potentials let you have different action experiences, but won't determine your capability. More controllable tactics help you beat the game no matter what potentials you have. In this way, even ordinary players can have the fun of playing an action game. So I really appreciate this design. However, with the understanding of this design, I have to say I've noticed some issues in this EA edition. Hopefully this will be fixed after the release, but now let me finish my argument. So to be specific, according to my analysis, you need to first grab a potential randomly and only then should you be choosing tactics. It's natural since different tactics have different synergy with movesets. So if you are forced to choose tactics before seeing any potential, things will be bad. You can only choose blindly, or even worse, players will start to have an expected playstyle in mind and spam restart until they get the potential they want. This will simply ruin the good balance between action and randomness. And unfortunately, two designs are critical and indeed cause the problem. One is legacy tactics. Legacy is indeed an interesting mechanic, but I always choose legacy tactics before I start a run. The other is that the first tactic can easily appear before the first potential upgrade. Of course, it won't be too hard to fix the issue. I think it might be good to make every character have a random starting potential when you are selecting characters. After being aware of this random potential, players start to choose legacy tactics. This is the correct order of potentials and tactics. In conclusion, I think Entropy Effect is really worth a try even at the current EA stage, since it's intentionally designed so that most ordinary players can have fun. Well, just give it a try yourself. In addition, I'd like to recommend Entropy Effect especially for some players. If you are interested in anime-style fighting games like GGST or JBVS, especially the overall atmosphere when characters are, saying their quotes while fighting, but cannot meet the high demand of such fighting games, now Entropy Effect is really a good replacement. If you like my story or want to join me into depth of games, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.
数据题已生成。